So there I was standing above him on
Okay.
his hospital bed,
Okay.
and he's holding my hand, and like he squeezes it, like
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is it? Like this is the first thing that he's ever like movement of any
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
months. And he opens his eyes,
Oh,
yeah, and he looks at me, and the last breath that he took, he said, "I did it."
oh my God. And you were that close with OJ.
So close to OJ. Orange juice, I love orange juice.
I love orange juice.
Anyway,
Should we start recording?
yeah, let's start. Oh, it's
I
already.
think we're already
Oh,
started.
okay.
Okay, okay.
So,
Okay.
what did they say?
How did I say it?
Step on a crack, break your mom's back.
Oh, but I think the people we talk about in this podcast, the people, situations, and things we talk about, the nouns we talk about in this podcast are so mothering, are so mother
Yes,
that we skip those
we
cracks.
absolutely do.
How are you? How are you this fine morning?
Um, to be honest with you, I don't know what it is with me. Every time it's about to be like springtime, I get weirdly sick, and I don't know if it's
And it's not
allergies. I don't
allergies.
know. I've never had like any like allergy tests done,
Okay.
so it's probably is.
You have
But like,
bad parents.
no, crazy. But my throat like closed, like my voice is gone, and it's not. The problem is it's there's no snot. I can't blow my nose. It's just it's like it's up and
Yeah.
it's stuck
Okay, okay.
and it's there and I can't breathe. And I was snoring a lot, and
Yeah.
you were so cute though.
Why?
Like when I would snore and you couldn't sleep, you just like pinch my mouth closed, like you just like to my mouth, just be like,
Oh, that's what my mom did to me
it's adorable.
when I was a mouth
You
breather.
you woke me up and I wasn't even slightly inconvenienced. Aw.
No, cause I don't snore. I mean, I talk in my sleep a lot. I'm a mumbler, like, "Ah." But when I would mouth breathe really hard, so I'd go like, my mom would come, especially because of the bronchitis. My mom would just come up to me and just close my lips. So yeah, no, I keep thinking I wanted to talk about something on the podcast, like something serious, but I forgot what it is.
Mentioning something about gay rights.
Oh, gay right. I know. I want to talk about gay life
Yeah.
in Bihać a little bit because I mentioned it in passing recently that last time I went on a date and
Mhm.
it went great, but the guy was like, "Hey, I'm not ready."
Yeah, it
And
can be out.
yeah, can be out, can be. And the thing is, he knew you from primary school,
Yeah.
so he was like, maybe it was also a thing of like, so
Too close to home.
if I date him,
Yeah.
she'll have to know. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, of course, everyone should. That's the thing. And I of course respect him very much. So, baby, our dog is being really cute recently.
No.
He does this thing where so he goes on the part of the couch where you lean your back on, and
Yeah.
he climbs on it and then lays on like the
Like
top of
on
the
its
couch
central
cushion.
position. And it's so uncomfortable.
But
Like
he just lays there.
yeah,
I,
his paws like going into the couch. Like it's not.
yeah,
But he's adorable.
nah, he's gay. He sits like a
So
gay
I'm like, I am here.
man.
Look at me.
But no, I just wanted to talk about like recently they opened up the park that we're gonna go to after recording this.
Well, okay.
Why
My
not?
no, we can go, but my like work friends, Amel and Almer, like asked me to go with them, and it'll be weird if I go
Well,
and
we need
not
to
with
get
them.
toilet paper.
We'll get toilet.
Let's
We'll
all
get
go
toilet
together.
paper to like.
Let's all go together. I just wanna look at the Legos.
Yeah, okay.
They have a like a kids store
So when
and
you go to this, I think you meet them there because they're gonna be like at 2:30.
oh, okay, great.
So you can just be there and then you
Yeah.
can come by and then I'll meet up with them there.
Yeah.
Um,
But no,
no,
it's like a park thing and shit like that. And I was there and I kept looking at the people and it made me all different kinds of depressed that stacked
yeah,
up. First of all, because my dear friend now lives in Germany, so I miss him. Um, but also like I kept looking at couples and I'm like, first of all, it's a shame that I can't be like you outside. But also I saw many couples and I was like, that's just me and Selma.
yeah,
That's just me and Selma.
it's
That's
there.
that's that's us. But then I saw like many older married couples, and I was like, the amount of men that have texted me on Grinder who are
Yeah,
like, 30 to 40
Yeah, married, kid.
and fully married with kids. Yeah. I know a guy who said that I remember a guy texted me like, and this was before when I was like fully starting my whole era where I was like, I want an elder married man. The worst. And he was like, I have my son's your age.
See,
Ugh. And he didn't actually didn't fetishize it, which it's not,
kudos.
and that's the thing. People will go like, "That's gays being gays," and no, that's closeted gays
Yeah,
not being able to express
yeah,
their emotions, so they're like being all the worst kinds of the worst.
yeah.
But it's also how much can you blame society and how much can you blame them
Yeah, at some point you
being
gotta
shitty
take
people? Yeah,
like ownership of your own life,
yeah,
one way or another. Like you can put the blame on your parents as much as you want and on the
yeah,
like the city you were born in and everything. But if you're actively like fucking up your marriage or your
yeah.
kids' lives because there's this thing is like don't have a wife, don't have kids, don't do
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely. If you're forced to have a wife and kids, have a beard, girl.
No, but I'm like nobody's like asking you to like tattoo a rainbow on your head and like
Yeah,
flock yourself around the
yeah.
city, but don't like do that to people. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a thing of like a lot of parents are not allowing it and shit like that, and then it's like you have to get married, you have
Yeah.
to continue the family name and shit like that. But I just keep thinking like, sure, okay, you have your issues and everything, but like if you already chose that life of not living your true self,
Yeah.
don't fuck up your kids and your wife's lives.
Don't do that because that's the one thing for me where I'm
And
like,
you know what's the worst? Men my age being like cheating on their girlfriends with me.
yeah, stop that.
It's and I know your parents. Your dad
Yeah.
loves me. You know, it's not a thing of you can't come out. You just can't come out because you don't want to do a big deal.
Really deal with it. People don't want to deal with reality, and I feel like maybe one of the main things with this guy too is that like I'm like his connection to his past,
Yeah, no,
and like
I
so
get it
it's like
absolutely. It's just sad that it really was the thing that beat me was like our dog really liked him. And so I was like, I was really hoping. But no, it just made me really think about the about gay life here.
yeah,
And it's one of the cardinal reasons why I have to move.
yeah,
It's I will not be able to find a proper partner here. And whenever I hope that I will, it turns out bad and then I have a minor depressive episode
yeah,
and then I have to go back to normal living. But yeah, it's just no, because when I see older people, I'm like, sure, another generation, whatever. When I see you, my age,
mhm,
not you, but like
yeah,
some dude being like, well, I'm bi, but it's like less than 1%. Like you're
you know,
why should I come out just because of that? You should come out because you keep cheating on your girlfriend
yeah. I
with
love,
me,
and if
and
it's at less than 1%, you wouldn't need to do that.
also
You know,
if you're bi with less than 1%, you would not fuck me.
that's what like you would look for. I don't know. It's just stupid.
It's
People are
stupid that people go like it's less like bro, I wouldn't seek it out. You seek me out
yeah,
every week. You text me
exactly.
and and you have a beautiful girlfriend and then
Yeah.
you keep cheating on her. And it's just a thing of like okay, I tell this to some of my friends and they're like, "Well, expose them, tell his girlfriend." And I'm like, "This is outing somebody is worse than committing
Adultery.
adultery, worse than committing murder."
No, it
Like
really is because the idea of you single-handedly like changing the trajectory of that person's life is too much.
absolutely. It's
Too much on you. Like for me to take on that burden of
no, cuz
changing your
cuz
life, I'm not doing that.
if I was the other woman, sure. The other woman always cries herself to sleep. I love the theatrics she does in that song. I don't like Lana, but the theatrics. But no, if I was the other woman, I'd easily be like, "Hey, your man's cheating."
Yeah.
Imagine me, a
Hey,
man,
girly.
coming up. Hey, girly, love how you look.
You're so cute and adorable.
Anyways, why are you with no name over here? And it's no, because she will
Our
not.
dog is currently pissing in the bathroom. I can hear him.
Is he or is he drinking
I
water?
know he pissed. I know. It's fine. I'll clean it. It's just anywho's.
I think he drank. It's whatever.
Okay.
Um, but no, if I tell the girlfriend, it's like she's gonna out him, and
Yeah.
I would do that with like if my closest friend's boyfriend,
Yeah.
because I'm like I'm protecting you here. I don't care about his feelings. I will fucking out
Yeah.
him. But that girl will not react in a way of like, hey, I understand that you're going through a journey, and uh,
Now I'm
I'm
putting myself in the position of the girlfriend, and I don't know if, like, if
well,
somebody
I know
came,
you, and you wouldn't out the person. That's the thing.
most certainly would not
But
do
I
it.
don't know her.
That's yeah, fair. But I'm looking at it from my perspective. And I'm like, I would never out anyone. But I'm looking at it from like the only way I would be hurt by that situation is the fact that you cheated on me.
Yeah, and
Like
that you
if you
lied,
came to
and
me,
that
yeah,
you
if you came to me and were like, hey, I'm having these feelings, da 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 da, like I would be the most supportive person in the world to you.
absolutely.
But if it's like a hiding, but also I feel like I would have like I would have more of an understanding in that situation than him cheating on me with another girl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because then,
No,
but
because it's like
it's still
it's
shitty
something
either
that
way.
I can't give you.
Yeah,
But it's you can fully be like, hey, I understand, but
yeah,
you
this
did
was,
something bad
yeah,
and that you shouldn't have
and it
done.
could have been avoidable
And
completely.
I'm your partner. You should trust me with this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you trust some twink ass hoe with stretch marks who's really into Nintendo games. It's it's a complicated feeling, but it just some of it is like take ownership. You're my age. I came out a long time before you, and I understand that that's why you
Yeah,
think you can't. Because I was like, my life from the beginning was starting up like I'm gay,
yeah,
and that's I'm not bi.
yeah.
Bi people, so no, 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 Bubsy, Bubsy, Bubsy,
Our dog is creating some technical difficulties. So,
with the charging cable.
yeah,
Haydi, Ljube. No,
that's
no,
going backwards. That's beep beep beep. We don't do that. We
okay.
go. Where do you want to go?
So no, it's just it's all different types of hard,
Yeah,
but it's also okay. So reality is that it's hard. Reality is that society is making it hard, but also it's a lot of men just not wanting to take responsibility.
yeah.
A lot of men just not wanting to make any move in their lives. And how are you gonna live your life fully
That's the thing. You won't.
without
Yeah,
telling your partner, yourself, first of
yourself
all, yourself?
above everything. Because I think once you've admitted it, no, I think when all of these things become real is when you have to say it to another person.
Yes.
Like when you get to a point where it's like, let me sit someone down and tell them. That's why I feel like for the longest time I was one of those people. It's like labels don't no matter. Be who you ever want to be,
Yeah.
and it's easy for me to say because
Labels
I'm like
are labels are for me avoiding responsibility oftentimes.
not labeling or labeling yourself.
Not labeling
Yeah,
yourself is oftentimes just avoiding
that's the thing.
responsibility to say
And I
like,
know for most people, it's like if you do live your life and like I don't care that that's only acceptable if you do live your life and like I don't care if somebody sees me outside of
yeah,
this or
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
That's fine then.
yeah,
But if you're just like I'm gonna hide around and nobody's gonna know,
yeah.
then that's just you
I
avoiding
just
your
don't
life.
like labels. Don't talk about it.
You know? Yeah.
It's no, but like this guy that I was with, he was like, "Hey, I'm gay." Actually, he said that he's bi, but he was like, "I only wasn't, oh no, really into a woman once, but
Yeah.
it was like I really felt it,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay,
That's fine. Yeah.
perfectly acceptable. That's you were able to tell me, and you accepted it yourself,
Yeah.
and there are the steps that he still has, like like a lot of the talk in bed was like
Yeah.
he couldn't fully explain what he wants and shit like that. So it's a thing of like at one point I had to like tell myself in the middle of the whole thing like this is a big step for him. You're not gonna be there all the way. You're not gonna be
Yeah.
the whole ladder of steps,
Yeah.
but you are the like one of the first steps.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You are chewing the carpet. Anyways, um, and no, it's just it's and also to take a moment to say that it's hard for me
Yeah.
that everybody's just like let's go to John for the first time,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have this experience with him. What the fuck is wrong with you? The dog is just chewing up scenery.
Chewed up the thing you put on a couch, and there's like a little, like a pencil on it, and he just ate it.
I think it's because he has summer problems, so he wants to eat grass.
Yeah.
But
You throw up on the carpet yet again.
he almost threw up on the bed this morning.
Really?
That's how I woke up.
Okay.
He kept doing the "Huh, huh," and I was like, get away.
Like body slam the dog up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, no, it's also hard for me because I can't find a partner because
yeah.
y'all. It's the thing of also if you if you do come out as gay, you did not come out as gay as I did.
Yeah.
You came out as gay like a few years ago, and you're doing the little like steps that you
Yeah.
don't know how to take and you don't
Yeah.
understand, and everything's scary.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm over here, beautiful in my way, because God makes no mistakes.
Absolutely.
Oh, there ain't no other way.
There
You
it
know,
is.
I'm so like from a gay sense,
Yeah.
I'm 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 a very high level of maturity that
Yeah,
is
you
here.
got to figure it out. But that's the thing, you got to figure it out when you were very young, so you
Yeah.
can take in your
So
time.
people now, and it's like I understand, but also I cannot be with you.
Yeah.
Because everything that I do to you, I'm like, I like this queer movie, and you're like, you're so exciting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what's exciting to me? Finishing a puzzle. Like,
I
you know,
know.
like it's,
I've been there. Like, I just want to settle down.
yeah. I just want to settle down at the age of 22, you know, I
Yes.
just, and no, it's hard. And I did want to talk about it because this is a preservation podcast for
Yeah.
the both of us. And I did want to mention, like, I don't know, I feel like one day maybe I'll listen to this with my husband. He'll be like,
Not being like,
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my God, he thought he's never gonna find anybody because he's fat and has stretch marks.
the both of us 20 years from now on the same couch listening to this crying.
We're recording another
Being with the bottle of wine, just being like,
recording another episode.
oh.
Anyways, Mamma Mia 6. Here we go
Yes.
for the sixth time.
Yeah. Um, no, but it's no, but so the one thing that I heard recently, which was always kind of like, yeah, duh, but I
Yeah.
don't think people were talking about it before, is that like the reason why society rejects gay men specifically so much. Because we talked about this too. It's like lesbians do have it easier and had it easier throughout history, I think. Because it's like women don't really care and men are fetishizing it.
Yeah.
So there's no that in like threats of violence
Yeah.
directly. And so keeps chewing on shit. But anyway, so this person said something of, in the sort of men are not they don't hate gay men, they just hate femininity.
What the fuck is wrong with you? He's licking the like.
I think he's trying to make himself throw up.
Okay.
Which, you know what, fine, do it, I'll clean it up. Um but so men are essentially just afraid of femininity.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
the
they
thing.
see it in a form like any feminine traits in another man,
Yeah.
people freak out. Like
Yeah.
it's like what
No,
is this?
it's also, I mean, it's the most basic quote of all time. Men are just afraid to be objectified the same way that women are.
Yeah.
So it's the thing of like,
Yeah, it's always the first thing. So just don't come near me.
yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
scared.
come near
No,
me. And
and
it's
the most beautiful, like, I mean, I have friends who are like, "Oh, you're gay. I just don't give a shit,"
yeah,
and that's totally fine. And that's thank you so much. You're so forward thinking. Kisses to
progressive.
you, fuck, forehead full,
Yes.
my baby. But then there are men who are like typical dude bros who, and it's counterintuitive that I love these men more, but it's just like they're like little dumbasses.
yeah,
So, because like these men are smart and forward thinking and
yeah,
so on. I love it when little dumbasses are like, "What? I'd be offended if you didn't like me."
yeah. It's just something like to go overboard with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd be offended if you didn't like me.
Yeah,
Of course you want to fuck me.
yeah,
Ha ha ha. And I'm like, I love you because you didn't do a thing of
yeah. You used the wrong formula, but you got there.
yeah,
You got the
absolutely,
correct answer.
absolutely. But the second you see, and that's the thing, you understand that for you, men are a threat.
Yeah,
You understand that men are people who are strong
yeah,
and who can do
exactly.
things to you, so you're scared.
Yeah,
And then you go like, I don't get why women are scared.
yeah. Not all men, like sure, not all gay men want to fuck
Yeah,
you, but hey,
yeah,
here we are. You
yeah.
know. Um.
And that's the thing. Usually, like, I really got into true crime lately.
Mhm.
I'm really like,
Yeah.
really listening to the podcast, and I really like. I want to start reading true crime books and shit like that. And it's the thing of when we talk about Dahmer,
Mhm.
who and they're like he was a gay killer. No, he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
He used the people that he can get the most easy access to.
yeah,
Like how serial killers also use sex workers
yeah,
because they were mistreated by society and
yeah,
shit like that. And then a long while it was sex workers who were getting the short end of the stick, to
yeah,
put it lightly, very lightly.
yeah,
But then in the 80s and 90s it was gay men usually.
yeah.
So then it's like, well, you see, Dahmer is gay, and I'm like, Dahmer wouldn't be at a fucking pride flag. You
Yeah,
know,
like
Dahmer's not listening to
vice versa.
Gaga. You
Yeah,
know?
it's not their will.
I'm saying Dahmer. Who else is like a? There were a lot of like
Also, wasn't his whole thing is like he wouldn't have sex with people. He would just lure black gay men into his
yeah,
apartment, kill them, and eat them.
young
Like he
black.
was never
Yeah,
like
because okay,
it was
you're
never
right.
a sexual
Young
thing.
black gay men, which you're already in a. So with black people, you're already in a prejudice.
Yeah,
I mean, people have prejudices
yeah,
about those people, and then you're also like gay. So like the families are already facing prejudices,
yeah,
and then their like son comes out as gay, and they're like, oh my god, like
yeah,
this is so. You're just you're basically using the like whatever gets me out of crime here. We should really get him out to eat some grass. And he'll that animals
yeah.
will always eat grass to like being out there. Mhm.
I don't know what his goal because he's licking the door, just the door. Anyway, no, but it that whole thing is it's mainly about access. So
Yeah,
it's like when you, especially the hookup culture in the 80s and the 90s with gay
absolutely.
men.
I mean,
Come on.
I have it now.
Yes, 90s come really late here. Um,
Well, we had to skip it over
mhm.
because of the incident.
Yeah, the incident.
War.
Yeah.
But it's funny to say the incident.
Um,
But
I don't know. It's
no, it's a lot of, and I hate that I'm kind of living my life the most correct way out of all these men, yet I'm getting the short end of the stick.
yeah,
And they get to run around and have fun. But then I also have to remind myself, like, oh, they're not having fun.
yeah. That's
I
not a
mean, they're
life.
having fun right now, but they will not have fun at bed in a few hours.
Yeah.
They will not have fun remembering this and having the like. That's the thing. When I was this guy, he was like, I didn't have post-nut clarity. He was like, it was
Oh,
just
yeah,
nice, and it's really sad because
yeah,
I also like talking to him. He talks like a typical Bosnia,
yeah.
like a typical butt fucking over Nevadian,
Nevadian.
and I don't know. He didn't say like, "Oh yeah, Indiana Jones is hot." He was like, "Oh yeah, a young Harrison Ford. How dashing!" You
How
know,
dashing.
he
Yeah.
says things like that, and
Yeah.
it's but on Bosnian, so it's so no. I just had to have a little gay power hour
Yeah.
on here. You want to talk about the feelings of being bisexual?
Um, there's not much to. I mean, there's always that intimate like feeling of, am I really, or is it just like,
Do I date men just because I have the accessibility to date men?
yeah, is it like a heteronormativity thing?
Yeah,
And I saw
but no,
this
you
thing.
also love your boyfriend and you're sexually attracted to your boyfriend.
Sure, but here's my thing. Somebody made this TikTok, and I was so like, oh my god, so real. Where, and I'm gonna be a bit like misandrous now,
Yeah,
but it's the reason why so many lesbian, and I'm not even saying like girls who say they're bi. I mean like true, like I am
truly
only
lesbians.
attracted to men type shit, who live their lives saying they're truly just attracted to men,
Just
who,
attracted to men or just attracted to women?
who say they're just attracted to men will live their life completely straight, and not the reason they don't realize is that they're gay is because true straight women will always shit on men and be like, oh, I don't know, he comes so fast, I never get to come.
Yeah.
So it's like in your head, you're like, oh, I don't get to come because like
Yeah, this is
it's a
normal.
normal
This
thing.
is normal. This is
Yeah,
absolutely normal.
my
Living a
husband is I'm miserable with my husband. They're like, well, I'm
living a
miserable with
miserable life with my husband is so normal
yeah.
and so okay.
So like a lot of lesbians will just be like, oh, this is a normal way that everyone lives. So I'm like, I'm not gay type shit. So there's a lot of that like in my head
See, that's why
constantly.
I think you're bi because you're happy with your boyfriend.
Yeah, but it's like
That's why I think you're
you're
bi.
like, yes, but no, I'm kidding. I am. I love him. He's great, and I. The thing with him is that I genuinely like. If we were to break up, I wouldn't date another man again, and I know if he listens to this, I hate the like dick sucking he's gonna get from this, but um I don't think that I could find another guy that I can talk to the way that I can talk to him.
Absolutely.
So, and I don't care
Me.
enough to
Hey girl, hey, Sex and the City and margaritas tonight. Make mine virgin, cause I'm a fun gay who's sober.
sober. No, but it's a thing of like I don't care enough to even try because I'm
Yeah.
enough. I've had enough of men for a while.
For a long while,
So
if you do break up with
yeah,
I understand that. No, I thought you were gonna talk about the bigger problem. All the quote unquote bisexual
yeah.
girlies.
Also, it's not even here. It's like there's like
This is a worldly phenomenon.
yes, where it's like there will be like pick me girls who are like I'm doing this for the attention of men, so they're gonna be like I'm bi, and then just around men will be like let's make out,
Yeah, I'm gonna make out with it.
and
I'm bi. She's the lowest level of drunk and doesn't even flirt to a girl.
yeah. So it's like I don't like I hate the lore of it. And
Are you queer if you don't get extremely drunk as a teenager and sit in the corner of a room and objectify people? Did you ever have that? Did you have that of like I was like invited to a party and like the boys were like, "Come on, sleep over with us," because
yeah,
they have recently accepted me,
yeah,
and I was like, "Okay, sure." And then I was just in the like I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the bed alone." Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, and they were like, "Sure, whatever." Like they didn't make it a big deal. But then I was just in the back of the bed, just looking at them being boys, and I was just like heavy breathing, and that's like you can't help it. You're just really
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
For
because
me, it was from
teenager
the
never had the
moment I
experiences.
realized I was attracted to girls. It was, and again, another thing that lesbians do have it easier is that I never had a problem with like expressing it. So it was like I would hook up with, but I would hook up like oh my god, most amount of girls that I've hooked up are actually straight.
Yeah,
But it was such a
absolutely.
like fun. Like
Yeah,
there are a few where there
it's
were
funny you say hookup. It's like making out.
well some, but
Meanwhile, for me, hooking up is like to the shoulder.
yes. But it was that, and to this day, like I don't know, there was this girl in our friend group who I would always hook up. She has a boyfriend now. They're all like great. Never in her life was she like, oh, I'm bi or I'm this or
Yeah,
I'm that. It's just, and she even told me like it's just you that I would like, and it was fun. It was great, but it's not my thing. And I'm like,
yeah,
great, cool. I love when you can just be that
yeah.
and be like, okay, fine.
But see, men are like, oh my god, no, it's just you, it's just you.
It's just
It's
yeah,
just you, it's just you. And
yeah,
it's like I can never hear a man telling me that and make it sound sincere.
yeah,
The only way I could hear it is like someone was like, "Hey, I was trying it out, I didn't like it,"
yeah,
and I was like, "Okay, sure."
fair.
The problem is, I remember I had this one like friend. I mean, friend barely know each other, but
Mhm.
like he was a friend of a friend,
Yeah,
and I hate that original friend now, but whatever.
yeah,
And so he's like this dashing black man who's so like alternative and
yeah,
fun and shit like that. Like imagine he likes Arctic monkeys, shit
yeah,
like that. Like I mean, alternative, but not like
yeah.
not
Not
fully
annoying.
there. Yeah. So and I was one I'll like how we started talking is I as a teen was like, "You're so handsome, like you're one of the most beautiful men that I've ever seen."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, thank you, and likewise, you're also very attractive." And I was like, "Oh, don't make me hope. I know that you're straight." And he was like, "Well, I'm not." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
okay," but like he was too far away to like actually flirt and shit like that. Cut to years later, I keep texting him like compliments and shit like that. And one day I go like, like if we ever meet, would you hook up with me? And he's like, why do you ask that? And I was like, well, because you're bi. And he was like, oh, I just told you that because back then I thought that I was just a boring straight man.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And I believed him.
I know.
I really
That is
believed
like
him.
I love that. Because now it's like such a funny like I'm gonna be cool.
I want to be cool.
I'll
I'm
say
bi.
that. Yeah, I'm queer. And I
Yeah,
know.
no,
Um,
I have my boy who's complimenting me,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I'm sorry if I caused you any confusion. Like it
Yeah.
really felt like he's not trying to back out.
Yeah. Like
He was just like, I was just a boring straight man,
yeah.
and I
Oh,
tried to be
love.
interesting.
Um
And that's hilarious. And that's the one time I believed him. I mean, also we didn't hook up and shit like that, but
yeah.
it's you feel the disparity in
Yeah,
people.
there's always that
Yeah.
underlining of it all. But I don't know. I think being bi is hard for those reasons, and I think it's also main like the only reason I'm like had full on relationships with men more than girls is because like it's easier to just find a guy than
Yeah.
it is to find a girl. So it's like it's kind of annoying though.
Yeah.
But there's so many girls who are like, but there's so many girls who are fully straight, but will say that they're fully gay
That's the
for
thing.
attention.
Yeah. No,
And
I
it's like,
had a friend in primary school who like has had girlfriends
yeah,
and then one day just randomly decided that she's straight
yeah.
and religious.
And God is my Lord and Savior. No,
Yeah.
but I don't get. So there's this like Valdana's friend Sarah.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, ever know her.
Okay.
She was like, she was always like, I'm lesbian, I'm a lesbian, blah blah blah. We did hook up at some point. I don't know what happened in details. I forgot.
Yeah.
But it always felt like she's forcing it, and then she ended up with a guy, and then
Yeah.
it was like this, and was the I didn't. I still to this day I don't know what her deal was
Okay.
or is, but it's just like
And I
figure it
know
out.
these like ultra ultra feminist in the wrong way misandrist
Yeah,
girls who say that they're lesbian and then up with the worst men.
yeah.
With the
The worst
worst
men.
men.
I don't get it. It's always the archetype of like I'm a good guy. I'm a nice. I
Absolutely.
hate men who call
Abs-
themselves nice guys
yeah.
because you know
We
that's a
watched
guy that will rape you.
we watched Sex and the City
I okay.
yesterday.
The way I had a feral reaction to this man.
And where I had a feral reaction to what's her name?
Miranda.
She's Miranda. Okay.
Because she's very like political. She's like women power, like da 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 da.
And to an annoying point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done in the show to be annoying.
Yeah, and like she like what's her face? The main one. What's her name?
Carrie Bradshaw.
Carrie like introduces her to this guy, and I shit you not, he said, "I'm a nice guy" at least 134
Yeah.
times in like one sitting
Yeah.
of a conversation.
And then I'm protecting this guy because I want to defend traditional masculinity, and Selma's defending
Her
because she wants to.
fuck men.
Yeah. Yeah, we're neither of us were fighting, and both of us hate these people.
Yeah,
But we were like,
she's worse. No, he's worse.
No.
Like,
yeah. I think we should take a break to go walk him, and then we're gonna talk about
Okay.
like the mother segment of the show.
because he's
He is. I think he has some stomach issues.
Yeah.
We gave him a haircut recently, and he looks like a little gentleman now. So yeah, we'll be back soon. Imagine we just left it on like silence until we
Yes.
come back, and it's like, hello, hi. Did you watch my chocolate milk? I paused it for a little second, and
Yeah.
then went like, I will maybe edit this out. Depends on what mood I'm in.
Well, back.
We're back. He threw up a lot,
He ate a lot of grass,
and then threw up a big clump.
yeah, it looked like the size of an average bread.
Yeah, this is the kind of riveting storytelling that people come
Absolutely,
experience.
all of these people. that are here.
Absolutely. So, what's our theme this week?
Well, let me ask you the question now.
Okay.
Is the mother we're talking about an actual mother?
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
That's the point of the whole movie.
Mhm.
So we're talking about a Japanese animation movie called Wolf Children.
Yes.
Selma's not an anime girly.
No.
I am no longer an anime person. I mean, I'm wearing an anime shirt right now, but it's Cowboy Bebop, one of the best shows ever made. And that's the thing. I used to love all anime. Now I'm like, I only like good anime. I will not watch like your average anime bullshit that
Yeah.
people like. No, it's actually good. Fuck off. You
Yeah.
know, but so there's Ghibli animation, which we will talk about eventually. That's I showed you the little witch girl.
Mhm.
So like they do the best movies of all time, and
Yeah.
then there's like anime movies, and then for some reason people don't consider Ghibli anime movies, and I'm with them because it's so above and
Yeah.
beyond. But
No, I think anime lore with me in general is so weird because it's like you can pretty much, because of the dubbing of it all,
yeah,
you can pretty much create any kind of movie you want to create with it.
yeah.
Just as long as it fits the.
No, I plan on showing you many anime movies. So there's Paprika, which is what Inception was inspired by. Did I say inspired? I meant copied. And Paprika did it much better. Paprika, because it's animation, it's like the whole dream atmosphere. It's so
Yeah.
much. There's Black Swan is a copy of an anime.
Really?
Yeah. Um,
I really completely underestimate the actual cultural impact that anime has on the
yeah.
world.
No, because now people are like, I prefer the old anime and shit like that, and then people now are like, I just really like Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like, sure, but that for me is just purely action. You're doing
Mhm.
action, action, action,
Yeah.
action, and I'm no longer in the vibes of like, you know what I wish I had patience for? Um, Slice of life anime. They
Okay.
did it so well. It's just teenage girls going to high school,
Yeah.
and my one of my favorite ones, K-On, is just about four girls who have the most annoying voices ever, like joining a band, and they're
That ain't us if we were four girls.
absolutely one. And one of them like didn't know how to play the guitar, but she learned, and she's like the most ditzy one out of all
Yeah.
of them. And then at the end, they have graduations, and I cry more than I cried at people's deaths.
Yes. That
But I
makes
don't
sense.
have the patience for that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, for me, I've never got into anime. I never had like I'm not usually a cartoon girl either, unless it's something that I really loved as a kid. Then I can rewatch it and be like, we can bring it back. But if
But
it's
no,
just
you're open minded.
yeah,
That's
I'll
the
always
thing.
like, but I'll never seek out to find something on my own
I
because I'm
mean,
like,
you love Bob's Burgers, but that's the thing with me.
but
I'm usually like, I will prefer watching an animation over a
yeah,
live action, and you will prefer watching a live action over a
yeah.
cartoon. You will say the words, I am not in a cartoon mood, and I was like, okay, I respect your opinion,
But
but
what does that
I
mean?
do not understand it
Yeah,
at all, but
that's
like,
odd.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, I'll be like, I'm not in a live action mood.
Yeah.
So we watched Little Children. What did you think of the movie as your first foray into like completely like typical anime
Yeah.
weakness?
At first, I really what I will always appreciate about anime in general, like you will tell me some of the plot lines to certain movies or shows or whatever, and I'm just left like, who
Who came up with
thought
this?
of that?
Absolutely. There's an
Whose brain
anime
did that?
there's an anime called Princess Tutu,
Okay.
and it's this story about this I forget, but like I know that it's the most serious fucking show there is.
Okay.
Princess Tutu.
Princess teachers.
But no, there's anime has a lot of out there ideas,
Yeah.
definitely. And sometimes the execution is really bad, which is why I don't like anime now because it's a lot of good ideas executed badly.
Okay.
I mean, when I say anime, I mean like typical anime. I'm still coming at this from like I love manga.
Yeah.
I'm a comic book manga guy, and I will. Their romance shit is usually okay, but sometimes the problem is the gay stories always have a hint of rape in them.
Wow.
It's
Mm.
but
No, but for example, this like Wolf Children is like one of the most heartwarming movies I've ever seen in my life,
it's
and it's about bestiality, essentially. I mean,
that's
it's not,
no
but yeah.
some people would argue, and that those people for me, I don't know, are
Come.
it's like you're not looking past the
The
storyline that's
obvious.
being presented
Yeah.
here.
There's nothing.
You're just like, he's a wolf. No, he's a wolf.
He's a little.
He's a werewolf.
Yeah.
He's a werewolf. That's the
So
thing.
the storyline is she's at school and she sees this
College
yeah
at this
college
point.
and
So we know her age.
yeah. So she's in college and she sees this loner type guy and he's
Yeah.
sitting there with his cool shirt on
Yeah.
and beautiful hair.
Uh,
Beautiful hair.
the second we saw him, I was like, Selma is your type.
Yes, absolutely. So she sees him, she's like, oh, he's cute. And then he's so like, no, don't come near me in the beginning. And then they eventually start studying
Yeah.
together. Da, 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 da.
Because she's so nice. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The whole thing about her is her being persevering and nice.
Yeah. She's in such a like, so nice, but not in a
She's
pixie
so her
kind of
name
way.
is Hana.
Anna. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they eventually get together. And
Hmm.
then he's like, I have to tell you something. I have to show you something.
Turns into a wolf.
Turns into a wolf.
What's the first thing you said when you saw him turn into a wolf?
What was the first thing?
He's still hot.
Yeah. Still down. And she, in her utmost loving of hearts, is like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I love you.
No, she went like, were you surprised? Yes.
Yeah.
Were you scared? No.
No. Yeah. And it's like, no, because it's you.
Yeah, because it's you. Were you scared? And then he said no because it's you. And then we see them, and this is a prelude of it. And I knew what the anime was about, so I knew what will happen. I mean, when I watched it the first time, I knew it was a single mother raising two children. So I
Yeah.
was like, the husband's gonna die.
Yeah.
You didn't. You didn't expect it at all.
I didn't. I thought it would be a thing of like, oh, the nature is calling out to him, so he leaves them.
Oh, okay.
I thought it would be like that, like because
But
I know
that wouldn't make sense to me because like it's more of a nature call to take care of your children than to leave for the
fair,
woods
fair
for
enough.
when it comes to like
Yeah,
you know
you're so right about
animals
that.
raising.
Yeah. Um. So what happens is, so they're living together, and he's the one so they end up having kids, and they're half human, half wolf.
Yeah, so
And it's
there's
so
this
fun to
scene they're
see
like
them like
yeah, they
grow up.
sneeze and
Yeah,
they
they
turn
turn
into
into a little wolfie,
yeah.
and then they go back, and it's done so beautifully. The animation is, the colors, everything is so pretty.
I know.
And then
And we watched it on my OLED laptop.
so the sound quality slaps.
No, the OLED is about like screen, beautiful screen.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
but still, I was so like, there was like a bang that happened. I thought, oh my god, this is like, I thought it was outside here,
A
and
bird
you go like,
a bird flew and our dog was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, where is it?
No, but it's also it's a testament to the sound mixing of the movie.
Yeah. No, everything about the movie is great. So he go. I love that this is supposed to be your episode, and I'm like, so then what happens?
No, no, that's what I love because you were blown away by this movie.
Yeah, I
I feel
really
it's safe to say you were crying from the beginning to the way end. I barely cry at stuff because it's hard to make me cry. You usually have to surprise me. This is one of the rare movies that I've
Huh.
rewatched. I know what happens and I was still
Yeah,
crying.
you did cry.
I did cry.
I
I was
just,
fully.
you don't
You don't
usually.
see that. I let out a few tears.
Yeah,
Let's be real here.
but
But
you're
like,
never like. Meanwhile, show me anything mother related.
yeah. No, you
Not
were
mother in this context. Mother
yeah,
as in mother,
mother.
as in
No, you cried
mother of
through
a
Mamma Mia.
child.
I cried through Mamma Mia the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
Definitely. That's the thing. I will never re-cry at something. I have to be surprised to cry.
yeah.
Like when I watched The Notebook,
Hmm.
I was like, of course they're gonna die together. Like that's the story here.
The only reason for me the Notebook didn't, because I thought it would be too cliche to put it in,
Yeah,
so I
okay.
didn't expect that to
No, I
happen,
knew
and then
because
it
it's
did.
everybody's crime movie. So I was
Yeah,
like, they're gonna die together and shit like that. And I was like, okay. I let out a tear when he made her a room for drawing, and I was
yeah,
like, that's so beautiful.
yeah.
And I let out a tear when it was her book. Like
She
she
wrote
wrote it
the
like
Notebook.
when I'm gone, read it to me so I
Yeah.
remember. And that was a surprise for me. And then I cried, but I could never cry at the Notebook again.
Just crying about it right now. No, so back to the Wolf Children.
Yeah.
So he one day goes out to get groceries. He gets groceries. He leaves his
This is
wallet.
when the second child, so Ame, is born and
Mhm.
he's a baby, like
Yeah.
just a few
So
days.
it's like there's a girl and there's a boy. The girl is older. And there's a boy, little baby.
Can we just say that the logistics are made so well?
Like,
Like she didn't give birth in a hospital; she had to give
yeah,
birth
yeah.
on her own.
Mhm. There was a scene where
Social
like,
workers,
yeah, social workers coming and being like, we got notification, like we have like
your children are
never
vaccinated.
been vaccinated, never, and it's also like, well, what vaccine do you get them?
Yeah,
Give them. What do
yeah.
you do with them? No, but the fact that it was very like made to be like she genuinely is struggling in the real world with
Yeah.
this, and it's a thing of like, well, you can't really do anything with them,
Yeah.
and but weirdly enough, they were all healthy and like fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's the
so
wolf in them, I think.
yeah. So he brings the groceries, and then she opens the door and she sees the groceries on the floor, but he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not there. So she takes, and that was such a beautiful scene to me too, because she has one of those umbrellas, and
One baby's in the front, like
yeah, and the
carrying her, and
baby's
the
on the
baby's
back like a backpack, and she's just running on her like by herself, like running and whatever, and she's looking around, and then she looks down
and
in the
Selma the whole
railways.
time is like, what? And I'm like, you're not ready. You're not ready.
I was not ready. And so the railways, and she looks down, and it's him, and he got hit. At first, I thought like they saw like, oh my god, wolf in the wild, so they shot him.
Yeah,
They didn't.
I think he got hit by something.
Yeah, he got hit by a car or whatever. So she's looking at that, and the worst scene,
Yeah, they dispose of him in the like
trash,
put him in like a trash
like truck thing.
truck. Yeah,
And they're like, and she's trying to get. Which, by the way, this is the only logistical problem I have with this movie. you see this woman running towards this wolf
Yeah.
to like get, and they're like, no, we're gonna like if
Yeah.
you think it's trash, give it to her.
No, maybe it's a thing of like we don't know if it's infected or something,
Sure,
animal
but
control, something like that. I'm like
yeah,
going off the top of my head
but
here.
she's running, and they're like her whole life, the man that she loved, the father of her children, is being
Yeah.
thrown away in like
In
a trash.
trash, and
Oh,
it's done realistic. It would be cliche if she found him in the woods, died beautifully. You
yeah,
know,
it's this so like,
and that's just the start of the movie.
yeah,
That's the preface.
that's the preface of it all. And
Selma's
then
already crying.
I am.
No, I'm saying it where we're watching the movie. We're
Uh-huh.
already, you know.
So, and another beautiful scene is when like so she's over like she crouched down and she's crying, and there's just a man that comes with an umbrella, and
And
he just like puts it over her so like rain doesn't get on her and her baby.
and that's beautiful.
Anyway,
And
so
I can imagine those people being like, "What a nut for animals."
yeah, I mean, same.
So,
That would be me. She's so real for that. Anyway, so then she's like, okay, I have to figure this out.
and she says that whenever life throws hardships at her, she smiles from ear to ear.
That's
Yeah,
it was in the beginning when they were just starting to date, and she was telling him the story of like, 'cause she lost her dad, and she said like, uh, every time that anything bad happens, he told me to always smile and to
yeah,
look at
get through life.
And then there's that scene of like, so it's
After
her
he dies,
after
she's crying.
she's crying and looking at his photo, and then she just smiles.
She smiles. She's like, I decided to be the best mother I could possibly be." And
Yeah,
just smiles. And that's I think the crux of her character. She
yeah,
is dedicated. She
yeah.
is hardworking.
A mother.
She is a mother. She just wants the best for. This is really. I don't know a movie that better exemplifies motherly love than this
Yeah,
movie because it's a metaphor for like actual motherhood, but also she is a mother.
yeah.
You know,
It
it's
absolutely, yeah,
it would be like if you made a movie just about her raising normal children, it would be like, oh, who cares about a single mother story? Like
yeah,
it's we would love it, but like
yeah. It's been,
it's been done, and this is like, oh,
uh-huh.
this is what motherhood is like
Yeah.
for people who aren't parents.
Yes,
This is what mother. And I watched it with my mom for the second time when I watched it, and she kept being like, "The boy is exactly like you, and the girl is exactly like your sister." That's beautiful.
so the sister's been such a rascal.
Yeah.
When she was a kid, she was sick. So she decides to raise him on her own, and what I think the most beautiful archetype of the story is her just saying like, being like, do I raise them as a wolf or do I
Yeah.
raise them as human? And
I want to raise them to be
yeah,
able to choose.
but the choice it like was made when when one of them the baby got sick, and so it's like they did a thing of like, so the hospital is on the right, and then the vet's office is on the left, and she's just like, where do I go? No, the girl got sick, and then
She ate silica.
yeah, and then she called the nurse or
Yeah.
something, and then the nurse was like, it's just like,
If she threw it, what's her appetite like?
yeah, and then the girl just looks at her like, can I have a snack? It was adorable.
If that ain't me.
I know. And then from that you see her like dilemma of like, how does she
Yeah.
play this? And then she says, I want them to grow up in a world where they can make their own choice.
Yeah.
And so
And it's a scene of like the two of them are playing,
yeah,
and she goes like, "If you could be a wolf or if you could be human, which one?" And they're both kids. They don't
yeah,
know. So she's like, "I want to raise you where you have that ability." And then they get this raggedy ass old abandoned house.
yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
And yeah,
And they're like, we have to live off of crops because
Yeah.
I can't. There's no job here.
yeah,
And throughout her whole thing, she's constantly struggling. Like, oh, I can't grow potatoes; they won't grow. And they're like hungry. And then she's like, I need to get a job.
Firstly,
now-
they had to clean all of the things.
Yeah. So they all had to like. She's cleaning up. She's fixing the roof. She's doing it all.
And the
She's-
thing is, the preface is the girl was shown for a long while to be the more wolf loving,
That's
while
I
the
was about
boy,
to say.
while the boy
Yeah.
is like, "Mommy, can we go home? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like nature."
Yeah, she's like, can we go home? He's so like terrified of everything, and
Yeah.
she was always so feisty and was
Yeah.
like, "Ah, nah, nah, nah." So I thought it would be her to be like, I need to be
Yeah.
But as they grow up, you see her, the girl, being like, I want to go to school.
Yeah.
I
So,
want to live a normal life. I
oh,
need to go to school. I
it's
want to
such
be
a
a
cute
human.
scene. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
But
It's the scene of like, I'm just remembering how cute she is. The mother's being like, "You haven't signed him up to a preschool," and then the girl's like, "What's a preschool and why are we not going?"
yeah,
It's the scene where she admits defeat, kind of, and she just curls up in a corner and she's like, "I want to go to preschool. I'm not gonna turn into a wolf."
she knows why.
And this is
It's
Selma's
such a like. I promise I won't turn it to.
this is Selma's biggest fantasy movie
It really is.
because she then starts living a farm life,
Yeah,
and it's a. We also like Mamma Mia, but Mamma Mia is very.
Mamma Mia is campy. Mamma Mia is unrealistic. This
Yeah,
movie is more realistic.
that's what I meant. Mamma Mia is idealizing the life of
Yeah,
less money,
yeah,
harder lifestyle in a small community. This movie, I think, perfectly captured
yeah.
a small
Very.
community, very hard work,
Yeah,
and it constantly had these scenes of people being like, people move in here thinking that it's the easier life.
yeah. People are oh these city folk.
Yeah,
You know.
and then like the main grandpa of the village
Yeah.
hates her.
There's this one guy, and he's so like such a grumpy
Yeah,
grandpa, and he's so like, yeah, you're not gonna do thing. You can't do anything here. Dead, dead. So, but he ends up being the one who helped her the most.
yeah. He sends people to give her food and shit like that, and it's
No, I think he did it. It did it in the sense of like, because made because you know that scene where it was like, why are we digging so much?
yeah.
We don't
And
need
he was
this
like, we
much.
have to share it.
Yeah, and then he was like, just dig. Like he didn't want to tell her until eventually she got a whole bunch of potatoes. That's the only thing she was
Yeah,
able to grow. So then she would go from person to person and give them bags of potatoes, and then they'd be like, okay, here's radish,
yeah,
here's this, and then she was like, oh,
yeah.
so
This is
you,
it's the community
yeah,
that we
you
have to
have to
build.
give to receive, and that's beautiful.
So and then we start like the children start having their paths
Yeah,
because Yuki, that's the girl. Yuki is the girl and Ame is the boy.
I don't know the name, so I'll leave
Okay,
it up
yeah.
to you.
So Yuki is the one who decides to go. She's like, I want to go to school,
Yeah, she
and
wants to have a normal like human life.
yeah, and then the boy is. We don't see what he wants for a long while,
Yeah,
and she starts being more popular. She starts. Her mother makes her a dress. There's. I want to mention every single part of this movie.
I know, me too.
That's the
Just keep
problem.
remembering details,
There's
and I'm like,
every scene in this movie is so integral to the theme of being a mother,
yeah.
and the children are made perfectly, and
You know what's another part of her being an amazing mom? And you would think you would be the like you would think she would give the cliche answer that okay,
yeah,
so the girl is going to school and she's kind of being made fun of because she's not a girly girl and she's
yeah,
not she because people are they're coming out like look I picked these many flowers and then she's like I found a skull and she's like doing
yeah.
that.
Then she found a snake, and all the
Yeah,
girls
and
run
everyone
away.
and it's just like a bunch of scenes of the girls from
Yeah,
school just running, being terrified. And then she comes to her mom and she's like,
I want to be more
can you make me a dress? And then her mom kind of laughs and she's like,
No, she says, I want to be more girly. She's like, how do I, mom? How do I be more girly?
yeah, but her mom is kind of, and you would think that they
It's
would
gonna
make
be
it a
like,
point of like, be
yeah,
yourself, don't let that influence you, like you're so great as who you are. No,
no,
she
she
literally was, she
wants
laughed and
this.
she was like,
This is
yeah,
her dream.
yeah, and she's like, okay, I'll make you a dress.
Yeah.
So she makes her dress and she goes to school and she has her little
I
friends.
want, and then it's the quote because Yuki is the one narrating the whole story, and she's
Yeah,
like, "I watched her sew every stitch."
yeah. So she makes her the dress. She goes to school. She finds her friends, whatever. Then there's this boy. This boy comes to her, which, by the way, the funniest shit because I was like, he is so you. He comes to her and she's like, do you have a dog? And she's like, no, I don't have a dog. But weird, you smell like wet dog. It's just,
He didn't say wet. He just said you smell like you have
no, I
dogs
think
at
he
home.
said, you smell like you have a dog or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she started crying and she was offended by it. And he was so, what? I didn't mean, like, he was so, I didn't mean
No,
to
she
offend
didn't
you.
cry. She was just like distant from him,
Yeah.
and he was being the popular kid. Everybody
Yeah.
likes him, and then he's like, "Did I offend you or
Yeah.
something?"
Are you mad at me? And like eventually they turn into the love story between the two of
Yeah.
them.
No, because
And
she attacks him as a wolf. Like
yeah.
he's being like, "Hey, what did I do wrong? What did tell me?" And she's like, "Get away!" And then like
get away, and then she
her
gets
hand,
angry.
like she just a bit turns into a wolf, like her hand rips,
Yeah.
and he goes like, "It was a wolf attacked me."
Yeah, and then his mom comes to school and she's the most obnoxious bitch in the whole
Yeah.
wide world.
But
Anyway,
what's more important there is that she doesn't go to school for a few weeks,
uh-huh.
and then that guy keeps coming over. I forgot the guy's name, but he keeps coming over.
Yeah,
And then one time Yuki is not at school, so the mom is Hana is like, "Come in,"
yeah,
and she's like, and she's like, "You should say a wolf attacked you." Well, do you still hate wolves? Being
yeah.
like,
Do you hate wolves? Yeah,
do
do you
you
hate wolves now? And he's like,
no?
I don't.
I think they're cool, and she's
Yeah,
like, "Me too."
uh, so,
Meanwhile, there's the scene where they run in the snow. It's one of the most beautifully animated scenes of
uh-huh.
all time. I remember you really had an emotional reaction to when the two of them were howling, and Hana also was like, "Ah!"
Yeah,
like she jumped up and
because
she's
they're running around and they're being wolves, and the kids are being wolves, and they're running and running, and so there's like a steep hill, and they're running, and she falls, and she's
yeah,
like rolling with them, and then they all stop, and
yeah,
then the two of them go like, "Woo," like as wolves,
howl.
and then she just goes like, ah, like starts screaming, and it's so pretty.
It's beautiful,
Um,
and that's when we see the twist turn of Ame,
uh-huh.
because he sees a bird and he feels the instinct to hunt it,
Yeah,
and then he falls into the water, and Yuki saves him,
yeah. So he falls into the water, and it's very like, and
and
he's about
that's
to
his
drown,
turn. And
and his sister is
yeah,
like, yeah, goes like,
and Yuki starts. The mom starts working at like a pet shelter,
yeah,
like an animal shelter, like a natural
yeah,
habitat for animals and shit like that. And they have a wolf who they saved from like a rich guy who could like.
yeah. So it wasn't a wild wolf. It was
And Yuki was no Yuki. Actually, we see many hints of Yuki. Oh, this movie has so many good points. We see the points of Yuki liking wolves because he keeps buying children's stories.
yeah,
And the wolf keeps being the bad guy. And he's like, "Mommy, why is the wolf always the
yeah.
bad guy? Why do they always kill the wolf?" It's so beautiful.
So then he is understanding now that he is more inclined to like to his wolf side,
Yeah.
and he's going out every night, every day, and being out there with what's the name, the sensei.
Sensei, yeah.
And then he comes home and he tells his mom, like, I was with Sensei. And then his mom, not knowing who Sensei is, goes like to people in the village, and then she's like, "Do you know a Sensei? Like,
Yeah.
who's this guy? Like, who's been here out with my kid?" I'm really dumbing the. This isn't the dialogue. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
being
no.
like, and then she was like, and then he was like,
No, but
um,
Sensei, of course, we understand that it's the title of a Japanese teacher.
uh-huh.
But like, Selma's not saying that that's his
Yeah,
name.
not yeah.
Don't think that Selma's done.
So then they're all talking about it, like, and she's like, "Well, who is this? Can I meet him?" And then he takes her into the woods.
And she gives him food, and it's
Yeah,
a fox.
it's a fox,
That
and I love that it's a fox because it's like wise and it's like,
yeah,
oh
and that's the animal that kind of is the caretaker of the woods now.
yeah.
That's
And then there's a big storm.
we're already getting to that. Is there
No, no,
anything more?
I think there was
It,
a thing of a storm, and then afterward there's the ending storm.
yeah.
Because when Sensei died, that's when he started
Oh yeah,
being.
yeah. But no, I think that's an ongoing storm for like a while.
Yeah, but it's like where he started being like when the woods called to him the most is after
Yeah.
Sensei died.
After, I mean, Sensei was wounded, I think first, and he's not gonna make it.
Yeah,
That's the
that
thing.
was.
But yeah, and that storm, I think my favorite scene happens of because it perfectly knows children.
Mm-hmm.
It's the scene of the brother and the sister, her being like, "Why are you not coming to school? You should
Yeah.
come to school." Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "You should come to Sensei. He can teach you how to hunt better.
Yes.
I can go around trees better." And she's like honing her human skills, and he's honing his animal
Yeah.
skills. And they're both not understanding each other. They're like, "What's wrong with you? Like, you're a human, but," and
Yeah.
he's like, "But you're a wolf."
Yeah.
And the two of them get into this big fight, and then Hana doesn't know what to do because
Yeah. And
it's
they both
wolves
turned
fighting each
into
other.
yeah
Yeah,
wolves, and they're fighting each other. And I think the moment where he realized, and I think also his sister realized that he had become this
yeah,
because he hurt her.
yeah.
So, like genuinely hurt her, and then she ran into the bathroom and locked herself in the bathtub
Yeah,
and cried and shit. But he like this was the first time where he was the stronger one,
yeah,
and she couldn't like, oh wow,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So
because she doesn't turn into a wolf.
yeah,
She's not.
and he's been like
Yeah,
experiencing
and
it.
that for me is so like that is such a brother sister moment of just not understanding each other's
Yeah,
journey. and being like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, why are you doing
Why
this
are
way?
you?"
Why are you doing
Yeah,
it that way? Whatever. Anyways, but the thing is, they all have their. It's not just about them as a family. They all have their own storylines.
yeah.
Because the mom is there struggling to like with the life,
Financial
financial, and
situations.
everything.
Yeah.
Then it's her at school first being like, I want to be more girly. Then she finds friends. Then it's
Then
this
she is
love guy.
popular, and
Yeah,
then she's less popular because she attacked the guy, but nobody believes that it was an actual wolf.
yeah. And but she has a storyline of falling in love and being like, I want to go to school, I want to be whatever. And then he has a storyline of like, I want to be one with nature and I want to
Yeah,
be the caretaker of this, you know.
and even the dude that like Yuki is in love with is fleshed out.
It's,
He's fleshed out. He's a
yeah,
popular guy, but his mother keeps like she has a new husband. She doesn't care
yeah.
for a
He's like,
kid
oh, they
anymore.
left me for 5 days, like
Yeah.
you know, and all that. So do we get to the?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think. Do we have anything more to mention
I don't
here?
know. I'm thinking so the flood comes. I
Yeah.
think that's about like the baseline of the movie is like we've covered it all.
Yeah, no, I just keep thinking if there's I think another important scene that's really cute. She goes like, when humans see us, we cannot turn into wolves. She did like a storybook thing to explain to their kids. This is when they were really young.
Yeah,
To when people come, because people get surprised and they don't understand
yeah,
because we're unique. And then like if we see other animals, we should not be bossy to them. Why?
yeah.
Because Daddy didn't want us to be bossy.
Yeah, and it's like don't be mean to other animals and don't turn into wolves around people
Yeah,
because they won't understand.
yeah, and I love it because she understood the father's like philosophy of living.
Yeah, and she really implanted that on them as well.
Yeah,
So, but so they had a little chant
I'm
to
gonna
go
be a little girl all
all
the
the
way
way
home.
home. Gonna be a little girl all the way home, and it's she kept saying that to
She's
herself.
so happy
Yeah,
about it.
to not turn into a wolf randomly. Like, I'm gonna be a little girl all the
Another
way home.
important scene is that when she attacked the guy, she also was saying like, "I'm gonna be a little girl all the way home."
Yeah.
And then she comes to her mom and she's like, "I screwed everything up," and her mom just understands.
Yeah.
The mother had to have known
It
that
would happen
like
eventually. Yeah.
it will happen eventually. Okay, so
So
then the rain starts
the
pouring.
rain starts
When
pouring.
it
There's a
rains, it
flood.
pours.
When it rains, it sure does pour. So she there's one scene where he's telling his mom like I need to be a wolf, whatever.
Yeah,
And like you're a kid. And then there's one moment where they're having this conversation. This is the only moment in the whole movie where she was quote unquote selfish,
yeah,
and it took
because
him by surprise so
yeah,
much that he just shut up because it was like
you're
her
a
being like,
human.
no, it's her being like, don't do this, don't do this, you're human, and him like fighting her. And then she just looks at him and she goes like, stay for me.
Yeah,
And then he just shuts up and he stays, he
yeah.
doesn't go. And then
No, but she also catches herself by surprise when she goes like, "You're a human," and she's like, "Oh, this is," and then she's like, "Stay for me."
yeah, stay
It's
for me. That for me was such like just stay from because in her head, I mean, obviously you have a child that's 10 years old. You're like, oh, this is a child, this
yeah,
is a
yeah,
kid. You're gonna die in the woods, like
yeah.
mother. And so
Mother.
mother, you know what's a movie we have to see? Mommy Dearest. It's very intense.
Okay, but that's not that's she's not mothering.
No, she is not. But anyway, so it's the flood is happening, and he's like, I need to go out there. I need
I mean,
to.
it's just an intense storm. It didn't fully flood.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah, yeah.
the
That's the thing.
school
It's
got locked down. It's like a big deal kind
yeah,
of thing.
kids have to go like,
Yeah,
and then Hana's supposed to pick up the daughter,
yeah.
but Yuki is being like,
I need to go, and then she runs after him into the
yeah,
woods. So Hana is locked in the school.
with Little Miss Popular
Well,
boy,
yeah,
Little
so
Miss Popular,
little
Little
Mr.
Mister
Popular.
Popular boy.
So they're in the school together, and there's just the two of them are left, and so they're talking. And I love him being like, "Let's stay here," and he's like, and she's like, "What are we gonna?" Because it's a school. It's not like,
Yeah,
"Oh, let's stay here in a different city."
yeah.
He's just like, "We can just live here." And like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, I'll get a job. I'll dispense paper.
I'll join the wrestling. I'll be a wrestler. And she's
Yeah.
like, you don't have the muscle. But there's a scene of him that's so like boyish. She was like, "Do you want to see it? It's a scar." Like with the ear thing.
So they're doing their little thing of falling in love.
And then she comes out.
yeah, she's like, I have to show you something. And it also so done so beautifully because it's like she opened the window and this like the wind blew and the wind blew the curtains over her and as they fell down you see her become a wolf and then
The
see her go
movie,
back.
yeah, the movie is full of beautiful visuals.
Yeah. And then him just being like, I knew,
Yeah, I
I
knew.
remember,
Which I knew.
I've been you.
You think
Um,
you were fooling me?
not me. Um,
He went. She went like, I'm a wolf, and he went, girl, girl, girl.
they're gonna tell me you're pregnant or something. Jeez. Anyway, so
But then Ame is going into the woods. He's like, I have to. This
yeah,
life is calling me, and
her being the caring mom that she runs after him, and she's running, and
oh my god, my I love this scene. She sees a bear, and the bear sees her, and she's afraid the bear's gonna attack. And then a cub comes, and I think it was like they recognize each other as mothers,
yeah, because
and
it
so
was
the
like a
bear
mama
didn't
bear
attack
with
him.
her cubs, and they just see each other, and the bear just keeps
And
walking.
Hana is like scared. She's
Yeah,
like, oh no, the bear's gonna attack me. But the bear just moves on
yeah,
with the cubs. Oh my god! And then she falls, and then Ame saves her.
yeah.
So the boy saves her,
But
brings
she
her.
has this dream
Oh
as
yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah,
unconscious with her husband
yeah,
that had died. And so she runs because first she thinks it's her son. So
yeah,
she's like, Yuki. And then he turns around and it's
yeah. Which, by the way, Ame is a perfect. He's a carbon copy of his
of
dad,
his dad, yeah. So then she sees it's her
husband.
husband. And then they have this conversation of like him telling her, like,
It's okay. He can go.
he's a full grown, he's an adult wolf.
Yeah,
He can, and this, and it's her being like, no, but he's a human. And then remembering, like, oh, the only reason I did this so they could make a choice.
yeah,
And I think it was also like I just didn't think it would happen this
yeah.
fast,
No,
you
yeah.
know.
I would feel the same.
And
I
so
think we'd all feel the same.
so then she wakes he saves her, his son like wakes her say like brings her to this field and puts her down and he just looks at her and then he like walks away and she's calling for him to come back
And
and
at this time, he's not even speaking anymore. He
mm-mm.
doesn't talk
He doesn't talk, he just looks at
to
her,
the end of the movie.
turns into a wolf and then just starts running.
No, no, no. But she says something more important. She was like, "Wasn't I supposed to teach you something?"
Yeah, oh my
Was
god.
she's like, "I didn't." She feels like she didn't fulfill her duties as a mother, and he runs away. And I saw your soul dying
Mhm.
as he's just running away because you thought it
Say
was the end.
goodbye to your mother, like hug her, something.
He runs up the hill,
Yeah.
howls, and the sun rises.
And he's howling, like saying goodbye.
Yeah, and she's like, "You're where you belong." And I cried.
That yeah, that's the
We
end
both
of
cried. We both cried.
her
We
just being
crowed.
like finally accepting it. And it's like you're where you
You're
belong.
where you belong.
Oh my god.
And then the rest is done by narration of like the girl going to like she's like, I'm gonna go live to middle school, and her mom smiled and said it's gonna be fine, and she
Yeah.
knew that it was gonna be fine. And then it's like she at the end is like eating dinner with with the picture of her husband,
Yeah.
and she hears howling in the distance, and she looks and she just listens to it and smiles.
Yeah.
And I got chills, literal chills.
I
It's my
just
favorite anime movie after Ghibli, and probably in my top 10 movies of all time. It's you really, as a person who is not a parent, understand what motherhood is like in
yeah.
that movie. I'm a single man, and I was like, I know what it's like to be a mother.
Yes. Um I don't know, it's done in everything about it. Like the writing, the plot, the
I cannot think of
visuals.
a single bad thing about this
Yeah.
movie. I genuinely like nothing. There wasn't a single like trope
Yeah.
or single like offensive thing. Like,
Yeah.
of course, the girl is gonna be girly. No,
Yeah.
it's also natural.
Yeah.
The movie is. I don't know. I would just
And
and
it's set up so like oh,
yeah, and not being a person to understand like it's not a it's the story is not about fucking a wolf.
yeah.
It's not, and I
Nothing.
really don't like that. Like, I love stories of love persevering through anything.
Yeah.
So I love The Shape of Water. I love Beauty and the Beast. I love stuff like that. And then people just going like, but no, she fucks a monster.
Yeah. That's not the point.
Yeah, it's so past that.
Yeah.
And like in Beauty and the Beast, they don't fuck. But like in The Shape of Water, they fuck. But that's an important part to be like,
completely
We will
invest.
talk about the Shape.
Seen The Shape of Water.
I know. I have in theaters and I loved it. I think it's Guillermo del Toro's best, but I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth yet because I'm not ready.
Okay. No, I don't know. This movie, I mean, I trust you, so I didn't
Yeah,
expect to be like, "Oh, this is stupid,"
yeah.
but I
No, I
genuinely
will start a
was,
movie and be like, hey, like I will show you a Batman movie,
yeah,
and I'll be like, hey, I don't think you will enjoy this,
yeah,
but I need to watch this tonight.
yeah,
Like yesterday, we watched 13 Going on 30, and I
yeah.
was shocked that you haven't
I
seen it.
know. I know of the movie. I
Yeah,
know the plot line,
it
but I
deserves
never
an
like.
episode of itself.
Yeah.
Also, another perfect movie. No, 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 no.
But
No, she's doing what
okay.
was the past.
Um. So yeah, no, it's a it's a beautiful story about friendship. Um. No, it's a beautiful representation of motherhood, and I can just leave it at that. Because if anyone is ever in the mood to like see something just wholesome and
It's one of my comfort movies that makes me cry.
yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
it's it's on it's up there with Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
It's and the children are done. I like it because I'm gonna sound like such an asshole now, but it's not politically correct. You know,
Yeah.
the children are just children.
Yeah, and they're just living life. It's never been about like
She's being
there was
really
no point other than I'm a mom and this I have to deal with the
yeah,
separate like letting my children make their own pathway in life.
and the girl acts like typical girls act,
Yeah.
and the boy acts like a typical
Yeah.
like when they get sick, he's like, "Mommy, am I gonna die?"
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, "John."
Duh. No, but it's so
So,
nice.
who do you want to go first for Mother of the Week?
Okay, sure. So my mother of the week, as we all know, Mr. OJ
Orenthal James
Orenthal
Simpson.
James Simpson has passed away recently.
I watched
And
OJ versus the People 2 days. I think even the day before that he died.
yeah,
So
hilarious.
my
Blown.
because I'm just like so I'm late to
Yeah.
the party, of course, with
Yeah.
watching OJ versus the People because I keep repeating it. And listen, you recommended it to me. I was like, I'm gonna watch it eventually.
Yeah.
These girls on the podcast kept talking about it. I was like, okay, I like them, but sometimes they also like crummy dumb shit.
Yeah.
But I love them for it. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this show that's probably gonna be a bit dumb, but I'm gonna learn more about like the OJ trials and
Yeah.
shit like that. That show is good.
I'm telling you,
I could not believe that.
Mr. Glee made that, and I couldn't
Mr.
believe
Glee.
it.
I to this day cannot believe it. And it's the first
Again, I forget his name.
Sam Levinson.
Okay.
Whenever I say Sam Levinson, you then remember it.
Yeah, but now I can't. Oh, Google it. Fucking hell! I just need to tattoo that.
But no,
somewhere.
he tattooed on a hand just to be like, "Do you like his shows?" No, I hate them.
I love that I was like, of all shows, I was like, Glee creator.
Glee creator
Ryan Murphy.
Ryan
Fuck
Murphy.
off.
Yeah, it's a Ryan Murphy production, and I cannot believe that it's that good.
Yeah, because Ryan Murphy is made to do like campy gay shit. Like,
Yeah, and it's the worst. It's the
yeah,
worst. I told this to Selma, Sarah, of course, Sarah Paulson acts in it, and I told her like, I've seen this woman go through hell and back.
uh,
This is the first performance that made me feel something.
yeah, that's the thing. And it's like you've seen scenes of her being like tied up and tortured.
Absolutely, and I
And
was like,
okay, cool.
sure.
And then see her just being made fun of for her hair. You're like, oh my god.
Oh my God, I
She
was
won an Emmy for that.
as
As
she
she
should have,
should.
as she should.
But anyway, but I'm not here to talk about neither OJ nor OJ. Sleeping orgy.
OJ, your Mother of the Week.
Imagine, love, hilarious.
Just before I say it, one comedy actor was like, I didn't do it, cancer. Like cancer saying like, I didn't do it.
Cancer comes out with the book like, if I done it, if I did it.
And
So-
now it's if I did it, Confessions of a Murder.
Murder.
We have to buy the
Brilliant,
book
absolutely.
because now it also has comments of like the family.
Yeah, good. Ugh, anyways, but that's also such a weird thing for me to think about. In some miracle of God, if he hadn't have done it, that is gonna be your legacy forever.
Absolutely.
And you were already like
No,
you
he's
could
so
have been
cocky
a yeah, but you
So-
could have been a football player. You could have been remembered as this like fun, charming guy
Yeah,
from the '90s that everyone loved. No,
that also acted top.
but then nobody would have remembered him. To be fair, If
Well,
if there wasn't for this murder, nobody would give a shit about
yeah,
O.J.
we would
Simpson.
watch what's the movie? Top Gun? No, not Top Gun. Naked
Naked
Gun.
Gun, and be
And
like, oh, okay.
oh, that he's famous, right?
Yeah, he's done something. Anyway, my mother of the week is going to be Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark.
And the reason why, and I've talked about this before, I didn't.
Hair. That's the reason why is hair.
I didn't. I love that I was like, I'm gonna Google so I know more about her. I just saw the age and I was like, I know enough.
I know enough. I want to have sex with her.
Absolutely. So now she's 17, which, well. But back in the day, in the 90s, so neither one of us was born when it was happening.
Yeah.
So we all know a little bit of like, oh, OJ killed someone or something or whatever happened.
I didn't know nearly enough about.
Yeah. So then I was looking through all the shit that Sarah Paulson has done because that's how I watch shows and movies. And I was like, oh, American Crime Story, cool, let's watch this because she's in it. I have never been more invested in anything before. Because even after I finished the show, I went through.
How do I watch shows? Over years.
Yeah.
Over periods, over decades.
Yeah.
I've started a show when I was a baby. I still haven't finished it.
Yes.
Finished that show in a day.
That's what I'm saying.
I text you that morning, like, hey, I'm starting OJ. And you're like, oh, have fun.
No, for me, I was like, oh, we can go back, like, and we can watch an episode.
Yeah.
Back.
I come to you to pick you up from work, and I'm like, I finished the show.
Crazy. No, but for me, why Marsha is my mother of the week is that that woman, because of that trial, has been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And has been
not just because of that trial, but also because she is a woman. She
is a woman, and it made such an important cultural reset. And it's because of her, and I genuinely believe this. I don't care what anyone says. Because it's like, after I watched the show, I went and researched the whole thing. Because I was like, it's Ryan Murphy. He must have overplayed some shit. No.
From what I hear, it's like
it's
I don't like the verdict was done historically inaccurate.
What actually happened?
What actually happened is that Kris Jenner played in the show by Selma Blair, perfectly played.
Yes.
Kris Jenner comes in and she provides the evidence.
Yes.
She says that the glove was shrank down by
yes, and he ate a lot of salt so that his fingers would blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kris Jenner said that, and that
would be her defense. She would legally blonde this shit and be like, so, well, actually, when you take a large amount of salt, then your body gets bloated, and that's why the glove couldn't fit.
And then he was found guilty. That's what I didn't like about the show. It's why erase Kris Jenner's storyline?
Absolutely. Tell women's stories.
Tell women's stories. I respect Marsha P. Johnson, but like, you had Selma Blair play Kris Jenner.
It's not Marsha P. Johnson. It's Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark. I'm sorry.
I made the same mistake quite a few times.
You have Marsha Clark do this impressive, and I applaud you for it. But then you will forget that the judge of the thing was Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner. No, okay.
You have some random ass judge played by some little Asian man, and meanwhile Kris Jenner was the judge.
By the way, when you see the actual judge,
exactly like him. Exactly like him.
Image.
And when you see Selma Blair and Kris Jenner,
spitting image.
Everybody except OJ looks completely the same.
So they had Sarah Paulson play Marsha in the Marsha Clark in the show, and what I love is that Sarah Paulson won an Emmy for that role, and her date to the Emmys was Marsha.
Oh.
She took Marsha, and then at her speech when she accepted the Emmy, she said that we all, as the entirety of the world, we all owe you an apology, starting from me, because I bought into it when it was happening. And this woman was like dragged through the mud because of her hair, because being like, what's Gino? Like, endured so much just because she was on the right side of this.
And a woman.
And it was white. But so it was just her being called every name in the book, and her personal life got dragged too, because she was in the process of getting a divorce at the time. So it was like her children were involved. Her whole world got turned upside down, and I just think that she needs the appreciation of, because she did an amazing job, and she ate that, and she is amazing.
She left no crumbs.
No crumbs. And she needs to be celebrated for the rest of the time.
Absolutely. My mother of the week is Bruno, my neighborhood dog.
Aw.
He just really makes me happy. I recently I usually take care of like neighborhood dogs. I feed them and I had
In here in Buttfuck, nowhere in Nevada, we have a lot of
a
strays.
lot of stray dogs. So Bruno came right after my what I would call my soulmate dog, right? That ex died. Are you jealous that I'm talking about another dog, boyo?
Yeah.
He's being so cuddly, like, oh my God, cuddle me now. But like I had this the dog Rex was born at the around the same time that I was. Like when we moved to Bihać, when I was like really young. Like well, I mean an infant, like just born. Rex was there, and he was my closest friend for the 19 or 20 years that he was alive, and he just took such great care of me, and he also like mothering in his own right. But then Rex died, and I was just glad he first got hit by a car, but he survived that, and then somebody took care of him until he died. And
Yeah.
everybody knew, everyone's like, we need somebody to take care of him in like a nice yard
Yeah.
for his last days.
Yeah.
And then Rex died, and I was just glad that he was with somebody. I was glad that he wasn't scared on the street somewhere.
Oh
But
God.
then like days later, just this other dog walks in, and he looks old. He's like huge.
Yeah.
And I go like, "Oh, you're an old guy," and then he runs at me. And he's like, "Ah, Dad dog is the cuddliest motherfucking dog to
Yeah.
ever exist." And whenever I have a bad day, I like to go out and I pet him a little bit. And then if he's on the ground, he will just get on his back and be like, and then turn from side to side for me to pet him.
Yeah.
Or if he's standing, I will pet him, and then I'll start walking away, and he will run in front of me and butt his head against me, like, no, I need more.
And you went, what kind of?
Yeah. And then recently I went to like throw away the trash, and he was like in the middle of the playground because I live near a playground, and a kid was just hugging him, and he was like, he was just standing there, like,
Yeah.
yes, it's okay, because like,
That's such a beauty of stray dogs here. They always are. Well, not all of them, but they are very friendly.
yeah,
Very like,
yeah, either friendly or scared.
yeah. If they're
There's
scared, then they will bark. But it's very rare that it ever like is an attack of like I
yeah,
actually
no,
bit somebody.
no, it's
It's like
scared. It's like I'm gonna walk away.
yeah, and it's like a because where I work, there's a lot of stray dogs, and they will like if one starts barking, they will all collectively. Oh, he's doing the cute
He's
thing.
doing the thing where he puts his paws on his eyes.
Face and like rubs it. But so there's a lot of dogs there that are very like scared. I think because one will get scared and start barking, they'll all like as a pack like start
Yeah,
attacking because they're like I need to
which is
protect my
normal. Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
But I'm a bit scared to go now. But hey, whatever. It's life.
yeah. We got over that. You
Yeah. But it's so beautiful because you'll see and it's also another thing of like whenever you can just like spend $5 and you'll feed an animal and you'll feel so good
know,
because they're right there
yeah,
and it's such a it's kind of like pigeons where like the only reason they exist is because of the kindness
yeah,
of humans and we have a lot and they mainly look very like healthy and good like
yeah.
it's very rare you're gonna see a stray dog that's like looks
And
like
they're
they're
gonna
starving
live
and stuff.
to be 100.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. That's where living here is kind of
Yeah.
really heartwarming to me because
No,
it's
I
like
keep thinking like when I move, there's
yeah.
not gonna be stray dogs.
Yeah, and that's such a like red flag for me. I
Yeah,
know it shouldn't be, but it's like these dogs are happy
yeah,
and we made it that way.
yeah.
And it's like oh,
Of course, I mean, we adopted him from there's a company that, I mean, not a company, just a group of people that are dedicated to saving dogs.
yeah.
And when dogs are babies, they're like, we need somebody to take care of this dog.
Yeah.
They're all trying to like,
Yeah, give
mm,
dog like families and shit,
yeah,
but
but they're also trying to make it like there are less
yeah.
stray dogs. But I don't know how my life would be so different if there wasn't Rex.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there these random
Because like
things
I
that
couldn't have a dog in my home.
yeah.
My parents didn't want a dog, and that also my parents love animals,
Yeah, yeah.
deeply love. They were also very good to Rex. But they were just like, we have to walk, we have to feed him. We have the two of you,
You have to feed you, have to walk you. Sorry.
and one of you is gay and autistic. Like, come on, and And then an ex was my dog. An ex,
Yeah.
I would go out and an ex would be an ex would. I would go to like dance classes, and an ex knew when the dance classes ended, and then would wait for me and walk home with me. Isn't that
I
beautiful?
know, they're so smart.
I know they're the
Oh.
best.
And it's like, you come up to a random stray dog, tell them to sit, they'll sit. Nobody ever taught them, but they're like, okay.
Yeah, and no, and Rex knew how to catch food better than this motherfucker.
Oh, he's so dumb with that.
We
Like,
throw
he'll
food
throw
at
and
him,
he'll
and
look at it until it falls on his face, and then he'll be like, okay, and eat it.
food will be on the floor, and then he'd be like, "Okay, I catch
Yeah,
it."
like, "Arr."
But yeah, no, that's my mother of the week. I love
Yeah.
that dog very dearly. We're gonna have to.
Do you think we should coordinate these more, or are we good like this?
What do you
Mothers
mean
of the
coordinate?
week. Because for me, it's like Marsha Clark, and you're like a stray dog that I know.
No, I
Yeah,
think
this is nice. I
this
like
is nice,
this
and
one.
I like that you keep doing like people from like the world,
Yeah,
and I always do like a random ant I saw on the street.
yeah,
No, because for days now I was like a random YouTuber that had like 3 subscribers.
yeah. You talked about him, I think. The last one, yeah.
Yeah, the last one I was that.
Yeah.
What were you? What was yours?
Mine?
You never do like
Yeah, somewhat.
from real life. I
Yeah.
mean, from
Because there, I don't really see a lot of things or meet a lot of people.
But that's why I wanted the segment to be like
I know.
this beauty here.
If I find, I will.
Okay,
No, no.
if I could
But if
turn
something
back,
happens,
if
okay.
Cher becomes iconic again,
Exactly.
no, but we
Nice.
have to cut this a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because like Marsha P. Johnson is mother, and
Marsha Clark.
Marsha.
Also,
Marsha.
Marsha P. Johnson
No,
is
Marsha P.
mother.
Johnson is mother definitely.
Absolutely.
But like Marsha Clark is mother,
Yeah.
and Bruna is also mother.
Yeah, I always go for these where it's like, we're never going to have an episode about these people, but I just want to
Oh,
mention
you're
them.
doing that?
Yeah.
I would have an episode about the OJ trials and the mothers of the OJ trials.
Sure.
We're gonna have an episode of like I think we also mentioned some like mothers where I do want to
Yeah.
make an episode about
Yeah.
them
Uh,
eventually.
uh,
But like yeah, no, I'm just going like who this week
yeah.
was an important person to our
No, for
close
me it was because
family.
OJ died. I thought
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah. No, no, no.
always.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And you never picked a person where I was like, Selma, you're being dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. How long was this one? Oh, an hour and a half.
Really good. We usually like casually are always on the same mark.
Yeah. No, but like with this one, we were trying hard not to because this movie is
A lot.
it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's one of the best movies ever. Anyways, so have a nice week, everybody
Yeah.
who listens up to this point.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, text us turkey.
Turkey, turkey.
No,
Should
but
have picked a better word because now it's a thing.
no, we
I
can
know.
change it. Last week we didn't ask for turkey, but like,
Yeah. Anyway,
anyways,
bye.
bye.